Hello, everybody. It's me, Roscoe, and welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Fan Social, the show where the KOA Army share their thoughts on all things town. And we're live once again on all platforms. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. If you're listening on a different day, welcome to the show as well. Hope you enjoy it. But make sure to join us on a Friday, 7 p.m, live, looking ahead to any town game. Obviously, no town game this weekend because it's the Little Ipswich Town mini break. We've got 2 weeks without a game. We've had the first week, which was fine. You know, the players, I'm sure they had a nice little rest. We had a little rest ourselves because we've had an interesting few weeks. But yeah, looking forward to bringing you another show. We're joined by two fine gentlemen in Peachy and Darren as we bring you a nice Friday night live show. We've got a lot to discuss from the 2-week break itself, the 3 words or less on McKenna winning manager of the year. I'd say manager of the month. He's won that as well, isn't he? So that's pretty good. Of course, Championship Team of the Year. Leif Davis is in that. FA Cup. A lot of chat about that. And also, we've got a lot of predictions to bring you. Let's bring in the two men joining me. Starting off with Peachy, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. How are you?
I'm good, Ross. Thank you for having me on, and good evening, everyone. It's sort of a stress-free weekend, isn't it? Because the last 3 weekends have been blooming stressful. So, yeah, I've enjoyed to chat all things about ITFC and the small matter of the FA Cup. But yeah, bring it on.
My friend. Yes, my friend. Always good to see you. And we've got a debutant, Darren. His first appearance on the Fan Social. He has made appearances on the game day, though, before. So you may have seen his face showing his thoughts outside different grounds. But Darren, great to have you on the show. How are you?
Yes, good. Thanks, Ross. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. As I say, we've chatted a few times before, haven't we? I seem to recall. I think the last time I saw you was down at Plymouth back in March. And I remember somebody commenting on the video afterwards saying that they couldn't get over how Alan Partridge I was. So I think I got a bit carried away. So I'm going to try and keep it in check tonight. So yeah.
I like it. Normally that's me as well. So don't worry, mate. So many people you go, "You're so Partridge today," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know." It comes out sometimes, don't it? It just comes out, and we'll see what happens tonight. We shall see. But as I mentioned, yeah, boys, it's the 2-week Ipswich Town break. Obviously, Coventry City got to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Obviously, they're playing. It's a Sunday. They got Man United. So, yeah, best of luck to them. See how they get on. But obviously, we've got no game because of that. How are you feeling, Peachy? And is a 2-week break a good thing for Town? I've seen pros and cons about it. Obviously, the players, they're knackered. They are knackered. Yep. So a good thing about that. But maybe that momentum, I don't know, the playing week in, week out. I don't know. Like, obviously, we'll be watching on. They'll be watching on tomorrow, all the games getting played. But yeah, how are you feeling about it all?
I'll say there's pros and cons, isn't there, really? Like, I think you could tell since even the Norwich game, the players look not tired, but they need a bit of a boost, don't they? And I think, like, this 2 weeks will help that. I think some of the players have gone away, like to recharge their batteries. I think one of the big things will be, hopefully, is that Hurst and Burns will be back. Which, if this game was played this weekend, then they wouldn't have played. But now it's been moved to the Tuesday the 30th, they will. But my only concern is that, like, after a break, it's getting the team back to their fluent best. I know McKenna has got like obviously 2 weeks to plan stuff now, plan these next 3 games. But I think we did need it, to be honest. But then you could say the same for Leeds and Leicester, because they've not had great results either. But Southampton certainly don't need a break. They want to keep their games coming. But hopefully, like I say, I think, because the other thing for me is we play at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. And by then, Leeds and Leicester would have played twice. And then, yeah, because I know Leicester play Southampton. No, I don't know. I'm so confused with games. But
I think Southampton has 4 games. I think Southampton got 4
Yeah,
games.
I'm rambling a bit. 23rd. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Southampton play Leicester on the 23rd. That's the game in hand.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, the position we're in, if someone offered you this at the start of the season, you'd gone, "You're mad. You're bonkers." But you'd have bloody took it, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I would have done, definitely, indeed. Good to see Chris as well. Namesake of you, Chris, obviously. He's from Queenstown, New Zealand. So good morning to you, Chris. It's obviously lighter evening now in the UK, which is one of the things I like when it gets to this time of year. Just lighter evening. It's still light, even at 7 o'clock, which is good to see. Darren, your thoughts on it then, my friend? As I mentioned, the players were knackered, so an opportunity for them to recharge their batteries. Of course, McKenna to have them on the training ground. I'm sure they've had time off and all that jazz. But your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, I mean, much the same thing, really. We mentioned about, Wes Burns in particular. I think we really have missed him, if we're honest. No disrespect to the other players, but I think he is so important for us, and it does, give us that opportunity to hopefully get him back. Maybe George Hurst as well. I don't know if he's quite as close, but I think it's also just to an extent, it's a little bit of a kind of a mental break for us, because it's kind of like, that Southampton game was such an emotional high. It was such an amazing moment, and everything since then has all felt a little bit after the Lord Mayor's show, hasn't it? And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like back in December when we beat Watford away. And that was a moment that felt really big. And you thought, we're really in contention here. And then, of course, we went on a winless run after that. So it's almost like we've had those couple of moments that were like really emotional, and then we've struggled to follow it on. I don't know if there's any particular reason for that, but it's almost like I think having this break not only gives the players a chance to rest, which I think they really have needed, but it is a bit of a mental separation. There's that opportunity to say, you do kind of wonder if we'd carried on playing in the form that we've been, would we just have carried on the form that we've shown the last 3 games? I don't honestly know, but I think hopefully it gives us that opportunity to just say, no, okay, we've got a break now, and the final 3 games are something that you can see as a complete separate entity, and hopefully we just hit back to our best form again. Yeah,
indeed. Peachy, do you want to add on?
Yeah, just quickly, I'll say I'm sure we all agree here that you can't fault the players' effort.
No.
It's not us calling the players lazy or
the Norwich game.
I don't talk about. I like to give it that whole day, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I'm like against Middlesbrough, just wouldn't happen for us in front of goal. We hit the post, didn't we? I mean, them 2 saves from Vass. Like I said on game day, I have been one of his biggest critics. Wrong on me, but yeah, they're 2 of the best saves I've seen at Portman Road, I think. And then like the Watford game, just again. Did get the drop of the ball, and then they nearly scored right at the end, didn't they? But like I say, one thing with this team is you can never ever question their effort and commitment to the team. I know it's a cliche, but no, this lot, they play for the badge, they play for the fans, they play for themselves, they play for each other. So yeah, that was my little speech.
That's good. Now, this is a bit of a worry now. Currently, I don't know if you can see my face properly, ladies and gentlemen, I've got unstable internet. So hopefully you can hear me, and I'm going to try to sort it out. So Darren and Peachy may have to take control, which I think probably is better. Probably, there's more.
Is the other half on the Wi-Fi? Is she streaming something?
I don't think she is. I think she's just, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm back now, though. It's gone now.
There you are.
So we're good. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. We're all back. One thing, though, Darren, this is for more for the audio listeners, but for the video people, you can see Darren in all his glory. He's got a nice shirt behind him. That's the promotion shirt from League One. You've got some pictures included. I've got to know a bit more.
Yeah, I did actually. Anybody who follows me on Twitter might have seen that before, because I posted about it end of last year. Basically, it was last year. I kind of started having some mental health battles. I fell into a bit of depression. It was around kind of end of February, beginning of March. And I was having a really rough time. Ended up coming off of work and kind of just didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to get out of bed. Couldn't face the day. And sort of mid-March, the one thing that I was able to sort of force myself out of bed for, and one day I was actually managed to get out, was when we had Bolton away in March last year. I was in 2 minds about whether to even go, because the weather was, I think they were forecasting like snow at the time, and it was all sorts. I just thought, I'm not sure I should bother doing this, but I went, and of course we were great that day. That was I think the first of that run towards the end of the season. That was the first really tough opponent that we'd had, and we played brilliantly in that game. Scored 2 great goals, consummate performance, and it meant the world to me. I'd had a really rough week, and that really lifted me. And so got on the train on the way back, and I just put on Twitter. I just thought, sent a message to the club, saying, I've had a really rough time lately, but praise God, I've had a really great day. Thank you, Ipswich Town, for making my day or making my week. One thing I do love about football fandom, as much as Twitter can be a bit of a cesspool these days, the football fandom on Twitter is absolutely brilliant. And they gave me so much support. So many messages came in. But one that I wasn't expecting was I got a message from the club as well, and they came and said, Darren, the lads have seen your tweet, and they want to send you a signed shirt. Which I thought was, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So they sent me that towards the end of last season, which it's lovely because not only does it, I've been following Ipswich for about 22 years now. For anyone who's not aware, I live in the Midlands. I live in Warwickshire, so I've not actually got any connections to the local area or anything. I just follow Ipswich because I kind of started following them when Burley's lads were, upsetting all the odds in the Premier League. And I kind of felt like, the 20 years since relegation have been really miserable. And I sort of think, why am I doing this? Why am I following this team?
So it's your fault. It's your fault.
Well, you could say that. But, thinking, why I've been, making so much effort following this team that's so far away. And you feel like the last 20 years, we've had little in return for that. And then suddenly last season was, the best thing that I'd experienced in 20 years. And to get that as well, it was like the club, did something to say, actually, they do care about us as well. And it just meant the world to me. And it's lovely as well that it's, the couple of pictures on the bottom are from the Exeter game. It's great to just have that kind of record as that was that team that kind of hopefully started what is a really good era now for the club. So it's treasured, absolutely treasured.
No, thanks for sharing that, Darren. Thank you very much for sharing that. I thought I saw that and I was like, we've got to mention it. But yeah, that was a great day at Bolton. Not even wet though. I was getting very cold. I got very wet. Got some nice pictures though from Cameron Burgess celebrating. I think I got a nice celebration of George Hurst goal as well. But yeah, that was the sort of the start of that run. I know I think we won a few games before then, but that was one where you felt we've got to go up now, surely. Obviously it happened when Derby and Barnsley away, but I felt that was the day where I was like, this team has got something here because they've gone away to Bolton, which are a tough team, and they won 2-0. So, but yeah, what a day, my friend. And no, thanks for sharing. And yeah, what a great club we've got again now, Dan. Maybe a few years ago, the club wouldn't have cared, probably. I wouldn't say wouldn't cared, but they wouldn't have seen it and nothing would have been done. But now, they see that sort of stuff and they make sure you get something sorted. So, yeah, good to see my friends. And thanks for sharing. Yeah, got a few messages as well. This is more on the 2-week break. Rich Reeve definitely will give the squad a chance to get over niggles, rest and recharge. Hopefully Burns will be back. If not, Hurst too. That would be brilliant, won't it? It would be brilliant. Mm-hmm. Now, time, boys, to segue onto Kieran McKenna. And obviously he's part of that amazing journey that we've been on. Obviously, this is a nice little picture of him. Let's bring it up quickly where I can find it. Where can I find it? I can't find it. Now I found it. There he is. Always worry.
What a man.
With the EFL award for the Manager of the Year for the Championship. Obviously missed out League One. Stephen Schumacher overall maybe deserved it because of what he did with Plymouth. But this year, I think there's only one man who deserved to win it, and that was K-Dog, K-Mac, Kieran McKenna, Super Kieran McKenna, Peachy. What is your 3 words or less on him winning Manager of the Season?
I've only got 2, and they're separate. So magnificent, because it's a magnificent achievement. What he's done. Like we broke the record. I think was it after the Borough game for the most points ever by a promoted team from League One, and the other one is obviously just deserved because it is. Like I say again, what he's done this season, what all the staff have done. Because I noticed after he won it, I've seen his little speeches. And he said it's a great accolade for me. And then he's straight on about the rest of his staff and team. How it's a joint effort. It's not just me, it's everyone. And that just shows what a kind of man he is. He's one of the most level-headed men I think I've ever come across. Well, I haven't met, but come across. I mean, I can't believe the first interview on the first Kings of Anglia podcast after he got named manager, he said he sounded boring.
Yeah, I did as well, so I can't.
But no, I know it's in jest. But yeah, it's just an amazing times at our club. And like I say, I'd love to say he'll be here forever. We all know he won't be, but hopefully he's going to be here for a few more years to come. And who knows, he might pick up another Manager of the Year award when we finish in the top 4 in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, George.
Now I am dreaming. No, it's brilliant because I say,
yeah,
it's how he comes across in interviews as well, and like a post-match, pre-match. He doesn't. Not all managers do, but some treat you like idiots. He just says it as it is, and he never gets too high. He never gets too low. I wish I could be like that because I'm like a jack in the box at football. I'm either up here, or I'm down, lower than a snake's belly. But yeah, I'm rambling again, Darren. I'll let you have your words now.
We've also once again been joined. Last week we were joined by him. This week we're joined by John Walk again. Up the town.
Hey.
John Walk. And also sort of other 3 sort of mentions now on the Kieran McKenna situation. That he won Manager Award. Mark Ward's gone total team effort. Luke's gone the obvious choice. He was very much the obvious choice. And Andy Croucher, very well deserved. What's yours, Darren? What's your 3 words on that?
Mine's probably a little bit abstract, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while, actually, where McKenna's concerned. My 3 words would be culture without limit. I think the reason that we have been so incredible this last couple of seasons, regardless of the fact that we've stepped up a division, is because what McKenna has built at Ipswich is an amazing culture. That feels like it runs through the entire club. And I know Game Changer will have their part in that as well. And, everyone who's involved in the setup now, but it just kind of feels like everything at the club now, from, the playing stuff and the recruitment, the sports science, the community, everything that we're doing to me now is so well done. It's so well run, such a massive contrast from how things were under Marcus Evans. It really feels like this regime now, we were fantastic in League One. We shouldn't have been in that league anyway. But, it was fantastic that we did what we did there. But to me, the reason that McKenna has been able to transition to the Championship and keep it going is because what he's built doesn't have a limit, as far as I'm concerned. The kind of ethos that he's built at the club, it's the same kind of ethos that will work no matter what level you're at, whether you're in non-league or you're in Europe or whatever. I feel like what he's doing is a great template for success at any club at any level. And the way that he's built that at Ipswich, to me, I know we all sort of say, I couldn't possibly have seen this coming, but there was part of me that even this time last year, I remember I was driving when we were driving down to the Exeter game from here in the Midlands last year. I was having a long chat with my brother, and I remember him asking me. He said, "Do you think you could go straight through to the Premier League?" And I said, "I think we could have a go," because what McKenna's done has set things up in such a way that I feel like there is no limit to what the club can achieve. And we might, might be sort of dreaming when I say that, but I honestly believe that what he's created at the club can just keep working. I know there's all sorts of other variables that have got to keep going, but it gives us the very best chance of success given our resources, given, we're not the richest club at this level. We're not the best, equipped in terms of the squad and everything, but what he does makes up for so much. And the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned. That's why, like Beachy says, I just hope he stays. I really hope he stays.
Yeah, McKenna at the wheel. Peach, you want to add any more until we get into the next section?
That's what I agree with Darren's comments that like this time, for the Exeter game when we got promoted, you just had a feeling, we could do something. We wouldn't just sit in this league in like mid-table. We just had that thought in the back head. Even I said it on the game day after that game. All right, a few alcoholic beverages down me, but I said we'd finish playoffs. And I think that was more,
hope.
Maybe hope than like, but it could happen. Hopefully not. In a way, you think now, hopefully not the playoffs, but hey, it's all good.
It's very good indeed. And yeah, going on to segue on to the Championship Team of the Year. To think, a long time ago, we were never a chance to have a player in it. This time around, it's only one town player at the moment until we make our decision. This is the EFL Team of the Season for League One. Obviously, Leif Davis right there at left back, well deserved, breaking the record for the assists. Going to probably break it as a all time assist one. He's done it for a defender, but I can see. I think he's only maybe 2 or 3 assists away from breaking the whole damn thing, which is great to see. Obviously, a few Leeds players there. Leicester's 2 Leicester players, 1 Norwich player. Or Sammy Smodic's the top goal scorer. He probably definitely deserves to be in that team. Southampton player there, Kyle Walker-Peters. Morgan Whittaker, of course, Plymouth, who's fair play to him. He's sort of stepped up to the Championship after last year's good League One campaign. Hull City defender there as well. But yeah, boys, big question. And go to you, Peachy, first of all. Should Town have another player in there? Or maybe 2, maybe 3? What do you reckon?
Well, without my blue tinted glass on, there's definitely one more in there. I think we all know who it is. It's the Egyptian king, Sammy Morse. He missed a 7 or 8 out of 10 every game. I could try to put the team back up against Ross, sorry. Because it's something, who would you swap him out for in summer? Because I know Dewsbury Hall's had a good season, and it pains me to say it, that Sarah is a good player for them lot. But yeah, he should be in that team, in my opinion. Maybe they play 3 at the back and maybe take Ampadu out, and he's played well. But that's, again, maybe I'm just looking at this with blue tinted glasses. I mean, for me, I know we concede a lot of goals, but I think Cameron Burgess had an amazing season, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting, really, because it depends what formation we use. I don't know what they decide. Obviously, they've gone to what expect.
Well, I know. Sorry, Ampadu's played a bit of centre back for Leeds, but he's also played mainly in the holding role, I think, in centre mid. So.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. Yeah, because Sam Morley's definitely for the shout. Of course, player of the year for us, but he's done so well in the Championship. Obviously, the captain. Darren, any other players? And obviously, I'm sure you're thinking Sam Morley. Obviously, Vaz probably is in for a shout as well.
Yeah, Vaz is the other one I would say. I mean, yeah, definitely Morsey. I think we're all kind of in agreement on that. That's I saw Ali Al-Hamadi tweeted something along those lines the other day to say how is he not included, which I think we're all sort of thinking the same thing. But yeah, I mean, Vaz, I think it's difficult for us all to sit here and remember. We think about that team in League One and we think, oh yeah, this is the same team, and it is mostly the same team. But bless him, Christian Walton. You kind of forget that team relied so much on what he did last season. He was amazing. And you flash back to the summer and when we heard that he was injured and you think, oh gosh, this is, but with all respect to Hladky, he hadn't really played for a couple of years and it was thinking, oh gosh, this is the last thing we need is to be unsettled with this going into, that trip to Sunderland. And that first 10 minutes of that game, you're thinking, oh gosh, this is, this could be tough. But he has been absolutely crucial to the way that we play. I don't know how well that's appreciated by outside observers in many respects. And I think that's probably the reason why, Mads Manson's got the nod there, probably because, if nothing else, they look at the table and they look at the number of clean sheets and, there's no doubt about it. We don't keep the clean sheets that Leicester do. We leak more goals than, most of that top 4. But fundamentally, what Vaz contributes is so much beyond that. You think of all the goals that we've seen on Twitter this season that have started with him passing it out from the back. And not just that, but obviously some of the interventions, again, that Middlesbrough game was the perfect example. And Watford as well, the interventions that he's pulled off. Honestly, I think if there was maybe a wider appreciation of that, he could easily have got the nod. So yeah, I think he was unlucky there as well. But yeah, that'd definitely be the main one for me.
Got a question here from Steve Catchpole who said, "Who decides?" I think it is just the EFL, probably one of their experts. I don't think it is a voting.
There's a players, isn't there normally a players team of the year as well? They do.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, so they're obviously they're the players, I'm sure they'll do their own one. But yeah, it's probably experts and people who work at the EFL.
So-called experts.
Yeah, pretty much. I think there should be a vote. It should be like maybe a fans vote, like where they should just, they put, obviously, like it's like the player of the season, young player of the season. There's like nominations for that, and obviously they then whittle it down to the winner. But maybe they should have 3 goalies, and then everyone has to vote. But then obviously there's going to be some teams who will have less fans, so they'll one player will run away with it if they're just have like Ipswich. Obviously, when we get any player voted, a player gets voted for any award, straight away we go and vote, don't we? We share it everywhere. Obviously, last year we only had 2 players in the team of the year. I think it was Connor Chaplin and Leif Davis. So once again, there could have been a few other players you could have put in there as well. Like Christian Walton, maybe, but then Michael Cooper, I think, had obviously a great season for Plymouth. So it's an interesting one. But yeah, only Leif Davis in the championship team of the season. But I think some players, they probably don't care. They go, whatever. At the end of the day, the big thing is get promoted. And that could be something we'll be chatting about later, ladies and gentlemen. But it's time, though, the chat about something big. It's been a lot of talk the last 24 hours, and that is the FA Cup. Replay to be scrapped from the first round, which, I don't agree with, ladies and gentlemen. Do not agree with at all. And Peachy and Dazza will be sharing their thoughts on that. Peachy, open the floor to you. I'm sure we'll do a roundtable discussion on this, loads of different things and thoughts. Obviously, get involved in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
And please do.
Your thoughts as well. But FA Cup, obviously, it's a competition we've sort of all grew up and loved. Obviously, Town won it back in '78. I don't think none of us were born then, but obviously we talk about it, don't we? Because when your club's won in the FA Cup, you've got to mention it. But yeah, Peachy, start off, my friend.
Right, just quickly, if I keep going on, please put your hand up and say breathe, stop, because this is really, I'm not going to swear, but it's really irked me, shall we say. So I've got notes everywhere. It's like, where do I start? Premier League managers, we have so many games, we're so busy. Right, but you're happy to bugger off half around the world on pre-season. And I've got a thing around, is it Nappers, the Fleetwood lad, who he does all the vlogs for them. He put a tweet out saying, like, the minimum games, it's like Premier League clubs that don't compete in Europe, minimum 40 games. Premier League clubs that play in Europe, minimum 46. EFL, League 1 and 2 clubs, minimum fixtures, 51. EFL budgets are lower, so less players and have heavier pitches. Work that one out. And you got to look at teams like Cambridge United. They got a replay at Manchester United in 2015. That paid for loads new toilets in the stadium. It's little things like Bury Town. Little Bury Town got a replay in 1968 away at Bournemouth. So I've got loads of stuff here. You're on mute, Ross. Sorry. But then,
that's fine.
After the Brentford this season, Thomas Frank moaned about having a replay. In 2005, Brentford were in League One and had £7 million worth of debt. They got a Premier League game against Southampton at home, and they got them in the replay as well. They got a replay, and that earned them $500,000 that kept them in business that season. 732 teams were accepted the FA Cup this season. Only 20 were consulted about this replay thing. That's less than 3%. That's just rubbish. I could say a lot worse. It's rubbish. Like, why do these big clubs, big six, get to choose? I mean, this is nothing against supporters of them clubs, but like Tottenham, a big six team, we've won the league more recently than them. And one last one, sorry to bring it up, but I remember when a non-league team called Lincoln got a replay against us, beat us. They ended up getting to the quarterfinals that propelled their club, and now they're fighting for a playoff place in League One. So for me, the FA have made a massive boo-boo here. The other thing I will say is I'm a bit disappointed about. They might be waiting for a bigger statement, but not a lot of teams have put statements out, or not enough, in my opinion. Because FA Cup, I start from I watch the first preliminary qualifying rounds. I go watch Newmarket. I go watch Soham. So and the BBC put on their Twitter, this could split opinion. What, split it 99%? And anyway, I'm going to stop now, but I apologise, people, for going on. If I've gone too quick, but it just really, I'm going to say, it pisses me off. Yeah. It's one of the greatest domestic competitions in the world. And just because a few big clubs don't play too many games, the most wealthy clubs, it's too hard on the players. I'm sorry, 90 minutes of football, a couple of times a week, a bit of training, $100,000 a week. Come and do 45 hours in my warehouse, stacking pallets and things like that. That's hard work. I'm done. Sorry.
That's fine. One thing I'll say, though, they could have scrapped the replay when we had to go to Barrow, and obviously we lost. That's the time I go, yep.
No, because we'd never heard about Bono's trip to Barrow.
Yeah, true. And obviously McKenna got appointed the
Lovely
next
Bono.
day. But yeah, that was the one time I was like, you could have scrapped it then. But yeah, Darren, your thoughts on this? Yeah, I don't think we'll split opinion. I think a lot of fans in general, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of even players will come out and say, there'll be some players out there. The FA Cup replay maybe made their life, made their career because they scored against a big team, and then they got maybe a contract because of that. But yeah, thoughts on it, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, much the same. I suspect as most fans don't agree with it. I think the first I saw it was a tweet from an old journo mate of mine, James Sharp at the Daily Mail. He put something out where he mentioned, the reason that the reason behind this is because of the clubs needing it for the UEFA calendar. And I tweeted back and said, yes, because the plethora of teams that play in the earlier rounds of the competition are really bogged down by their UEFA commitments, aren't they? I think this is the trouble. It's always that sense of, if this was really about UEFA commitments, then why is it not from the third round onwards? It's not affecting anybody whatsoever from the first round and the second round. It's clear to me that they're not really thinking about it from that point of view. And I mean, fundamentally, we've all said this probably down the years. There's been plenty of times for Ipswich where we know what we've been like in FA Cup replays. There's been plenty of times where we could have done without them. There's been plenty of times where, we've been there in a game at Portman Road and we're drawing and you think, I'd rather we lose it than end up, having to go to whatever, lower league club on a Tuesday night or whatever. But we know from our perspective that if that was the other way around and we were in a game against, a Man City or somebody like that, and we were getting that chance of a replay, we'd want it. Even if it's not just for the financial reason, which of course are massive for those smaller clubs, the financial benefits and everything they get out of it, but also just because from a fan's perspective, it's a fantastic experience. If your club has got that opportunity where you've been at home in the first leg and you get the chance to go to a ground that you would probably never get to go to any other time, or the reverse, you get an opportunity to welcome a Man City, a Tottenham, or somebody like that to your ground, it's huge for you. These are the games that fans never forget. I think these are the things that just fundamentally get overlooked. It's a terrible shame from multiple reasons, but unfortunately we know that it's not really the clubs on that level of the pyramid that have the say in this. So I doubt anything will change about it now, but I can't say I agree with it.
No, I don't. We'll find out if the club itself will do a statement, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate and discussion about it. But it sounds like it may not get changed, Peachy. It may just be.
Yeah. What also is one thing I did notice. I saw that someone put this out on Twitter when the Super League kicked off. Like people like Gary Lineker, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher were all against it. Been a bit quiet with this one. I know Robbie Savage has done a column about it. Obviously, not happy about it. Obviously, because he's played in the lower leagues. I presume, also he's got Macclesfield Town, doesn't he? A non-league side, but yeah, I think that's the way football's going. Unfortunately, like part of me thinks, sod it. I guess it's not with Ipswich. Like, do I watch a Premier League game or do I go on and play like £9 and go watch a local game of football where it's like 22 honest blokes on a proper game of football? I don't know. It's just like I said, the FA Cup. Everyone, especially my age, we grew up. That's all the football I used to watch. And yeah, it's again the biggest thing for me is like I say, there were 732 clubs in this year's competition. Only 20 were consulted. Stinks for me, but it's all about sponsorship and money now. Like the magic of the cup is dead. I'm afraid. Hopefully something happens and it gets overturned, because I think it's like I say, I think like the government and politicians are getting involved now, so this could blow up wider, I think. Other than that,
yeah. Well, we shall see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a little pause now, though. I think obviously it's been a big. I like it. Obviously, a big talking point over the last 24 hours. But yeah, we'll move on, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm sure you're sick and tired of talking about it as well. But I'm sure there'll be more debates throughout the next few days and weeks and months ahead. You never know. Obviously, it's the FA Cup weekend this weekend. Obviously, the semi-finals. With as we mentioned earlier, Coventry obviously taking on Man United. What's the other two teams? I'm not bad.
Man City, Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
If they want to play 90 minutes, they might want to make it 45 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Stop.
It's okay. But it is time though to sort of like have a nice little relax now. Well, not relax for Peachy and Darren, because they're now going to be in the quiz master show. It's time for the strike. Peachy and Darren going head to head. As always, Plato, we've got 200 people, over 200 people joining us live. So hope you're all enjoying the show so far. We've got people from all over the world, which is good to see, and also take part in the strike as always. Got 5 questions plus a tiebreaker as always. Well, we're going to get right into question 1. And question 1 is on a man who's gone a bit viral because of a video, and that is Stephen Taylor, who was announced a new manager of a new club in Dubai. And the video was very overhyped him as their first ever head coach. He's basically, he, of course, played for Town. I think he played 3 games. But I want to ask you boys, who did he join Town from in 2017 after a spell at which MLS side? I think Peachy was getting excited with that. I did my research.
Squad number. That's what I was thinking.
That's a good. Yeah, it could have been a good one. There's a squad number question later on the show. But yes, Stephen Taylor joined Town in 2017 after a spell at which MLS side? Was it DC United, New England Revolution, or Portland Timbers? So
I think I know this one because during the summer, last summer, I'd done like a little thread of who remembers ITFC players.
And
I'm sure I'd done.
Okay, sorry, Darren, if
I think
advantage here, but you never know. I could have tricked him with one of the other two. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, he, of course, was at Newcastle for a long time. Then he went to Portland. Oh my God, I just said it.
I wrote it down.
That's good. Yeah, you both said it right. That's good. There we go. Well, 1-0. If you didn't get it, ladies and gentlemen, then
little fun fact about Portland Timbers: when they score a goal, there's a big bloke behind the goal, and he cuts up. There's a big old trunk in there. He cuts a bit of wood off, and they hand to the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, now that in this country, health and safety, would they?
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, 1-1.
Cheers, Ross.
The last time I give you the answer. I'm just going to double check. I haven't put the answer in the questions. I don't think I have. But yeah, what a mare, ladies and gentlemen. Question two is on another manager, who's a manager now, but I'm a former Town player, and that is Finidi George, who celebrated his birthday this week. We still don't know how old he is. But yes, he is the current manager of which Nigerian club? Is it, bear with me, Enyimba FC? That's probably completely wrong. Katsina United or Shooting Stars? That is a real team, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't me making up. That is a real
TV program, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Dick Reed.
I haven't made it up. It is a real Nigerian team. And I've completely butchered the other two. But A, B, or C. I'll take that if you want to just do A, B, or C. If you're doing audio version, A, B, or C. Although
I'll go.
Doesn't help you if you want to know the name. But if you caught the other bit, then still play at home in your car when you're.
The Nigerian top league's not really one I've played much on Foot Manager or FIFA. I must admit.
I don't think so. I think George has won the league. I think of this team. I think he's been there for a few years. Good old Finidi.
Which team's won the league with?
I don't know, mate. Actually, I'm going to double check if that's actually correct. I'm trying to think if that is correct or not. I think it is.
Well, I've gone for B, whatever.
B.
I had no idea, so I've gone for Shooting Stars because I was daft enough to sing it. So
I like it. Well, fun enough, it's the team I can't pronounce properly, and that is the A. So it is incorrect for both of you guys. So it is
Enyimba.
Yeah. That's probably easier to say. I'm just me. But that is the correct answer for that. But you boys are incorrect. So it is still 1-1 going into question 3. Question 3 is on Shane O'Connor, if you remember the Irishman, who celebrates his birthday this week. Yeah, obviously it is this week. It's I think he celebrated his birthday on Sunday just gone. But yes, he joined Town from which Premier League academy in 2009? Was it Everton, Liverpool, or Man United? So, one of Roy Keane's signings back in the day. Played a few games. Obviously, Played in the snow game. He actually had
Oh, and there goes
Oh.
Ross's internet.
Hey, up.
an amazing game in the snow game
Oh,
against Leicester.
He's
It was
back.
unbelievable.
He's back.
Am I
I think
back?
he's back.
I'm back. Do you know what? What happens is basically when I search something. So I'm just going to turn all my tabs off. So I was just looking at Shane O'Connor's career. I'm just going to turn it off now. And I'm just going to have to just go with the flow. But can you see me all good?
Yeah, we've got a
What's it
slight
out?
lag, but I think you're all right.
Oh God, that's not good. That's not good. Hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll be that fine. What's the answer then, boys? What do you reckon?
I've gone Liverpool.
I've gone Liverpool as well.
That is correct. It is Liverpool. So 2-2. It's Desmond going into question 4. And question 4 is on Sixto Peralta, who finished his career in which South American country celebrated his birthday this week? Was it Chile, Peru, or Uruguay? Obviously, their lone star from Inter Milan back in the obviously the season we got relegated from the Premier League, but still a good player, weren't he, Sixto? I was a bit too young to really watch him play. I watched him a few games, but he was back actually at Portland Road, wasn't he? I think a few weeks back, maybe last month.
Yep.
As a guest,
Scored a great goal against Leicester at home. Remember that?
Don't know if that helps you out with this question, though, Peachy, but
No.
a nice little factor to know. But
I
Chile,
will go
Peru,
for
Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Yeah, I've gone the same. I honestly don't know, but yeah, I've gone the same.
Well, you're both incorrect. It is Chile.
Oh.
It is Chile. He also had a spell in Mexico as well. Romania. He won, I think, the Romanian League and Cup as well. So Sixto Peralta. Going into question 5, and this is an opportunity for either of you to win it. And it is a squad number question, so I don't know if that gives Peachy advantage here, Darren, but you never know.
If not, I'll text Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey.
Harvey will know.
He'll know.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, but yeah. That's not allowed on this show. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in the future, maybe if I add different lifelines and stuff. But question 5 is on a man who also celebrates his birthday this week and could potentially get relegated this weekend in Connor Grant, who had a loan spell from Everton in the 2016. But yeah, what was his squad number during that brief loan spell? Was it 24, 28, or 32? Yeah, played, I think, 6 games or something like that. And I think he got injured or something, and then he got but yeah, could get relegated with Port Vale. Darren Moore's Port Vale. I think he's not been able to save them. I think they could potentially get relegated this weekend if results don't go their way. I think Fleetwood are potentially going down as well.
Fleetwood are near enough down, I think. It's just they're not mathematically down, but they are.
But like Port Vale got Bolton this weekend, so that's a tricky one. Obviously, Bolton. I think if they actually win Bolton, I think they're still. They need to. I hope Derby don't win, and then
Derby are away at Cambridge.
Yeah, but Port Vale currently they are on the bottom 4. They're 3 points from safety or 3 points from adrift. So if they don't win and say Burton win, then they're definitely down. But yeah, Connor Grant. Just thought it's a nice little question. Is Darren going to steal it or is Peachy going to steal it? We shall see.
My lucky number and lucky turnstile, 28.
Ooh.
Right, so this is going to decide it because I haven't got a Scooby, so I've gone 24.
Ooh, 24. All right then. Well, one of you is correct.
I know it began with a 2.
Yeah, begin with 2. And that lucky number, Peachy, has helped you out very much so because you have clinched it. And it is 28. Sorry to say, Darren, Peachy is the winner, my friend. Well done. But as always, don't worry, Darren. There's always a tiebreaker. Is Peachy going to gamble?
Of course I am.
Of course he is. He is.
You can't research this question, Ross, and not have asked it. So
True
I feel so bad.
It's fine. It's fine. Tiebreaker time. Obviously, Darren, you've got to get spot on to take the crown of the strike champion this week. And it is a player before your time, but you never know. Could get it spot on. Kevin Wilson, the man with some stars from the 80s. He celebrated his birthday this month. So yeah, sorry, Darren. I've got to go back as well. I know a few listeners, a few watchers here who probably watched Town in the 80s as well, in the 70s. But he was in the 80s for Town. I think he had 2.5 seasons with the club. How many goals did he score for Town in 123 games? I'll give you a picture. Is he allowed to know the position he played?
I'd like to know the position he played, please.
Okay, striker. He was a striker.
Thank you. God, I didn't even know myself.
Add a little bit more. He signed from Chelsea. So yeah. No, actually, no, that's a lie. He joined from Derby, then we sold him to Chelsea. So there we go. Funny enough, I've actually, do you know what? I've missed an ex-Blue story to do on him. In January, he got named the Banbury United manager. Damn it. Completely forgot about that story. Too late now. It was January time. So, yeah, good old Kevin Wilson. Anyway, all right then, Darren, a chance to get it bang on to win the crown. What do you reckon?
Complete stab in the dark. I've got 47.
47. Okay.
I went 38.
38. Well, Darren is the closest, and oh man, you are so close, my friend. It's 49.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I can't believe it. When I saw the 4, I was like, oh my God. No. But no, good effort, my friend. Definitely a player that you did watch. But yeah, not bad goal ratio, though. 47 goals in 123 games. Not too shabby at all.
Just over 1 and 2, isn't it?
Pretty much. I think he had a really good goal scoring record. I think he did score a hat trick. I think maybe twice. I think he scored 2 hat tricks for Town in the 80s. I think that was obviously the period where we were sort of struggling as well. I think we got relegated when he sort of signed, and I think he was part of the team who took the rebuild. But yeah, Peachy, my friend, you have won. Darren was close, but overall you are the champion. Speech as always.
Well, I'd just like to thank my family, They're the reason I'm here, Mum and Dad. Thank them personally. And yeah, great compare as always, Darren. Thank you for some great questions, Ross. And yeah, I'll look forward to get my trophy in the post.
Indeed. That will make it lost in the post. What I should do is maybe after every show, because that's what happens when you're a kid, weren't you? When you played football, you got given, if you got you got the player of the game or player of the month, you get given the trophy, and then you have to give it back after the month because obviously someone's won it before, so you have to give them back. But yeah, maybe they'll do that. Maybe trophies, you have to give it back to me after every time the next person wins or something. Or maybe I should get the person who won it. So Peach, maybe next week I keep you on to send to defend your crown next week. You just come on for the strike. Maybe that's something we could look into. Obviously, it depends on availability and stuff, but maybe that's to keep to see if they can become champion week after week, and maybe do like the Undertaker streak where you could go 21-0 and stuff. Something we can look into maybe. But yes, now time though, boys, to put our prediction hats on because we're going to do some big predictions. We're going to start with that. Doesn't really affect us. Obviously, affected us 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. Yes, when obviously we got. You know what happened. I'm not going to say the word, but we are going to be talking about the relegation teams. Obviously, Rotherham United have been confirmed to be relegated. They're going back to League One, like standard. Sorry, Rotherham fans. You used to have back-to-back seasons in the Championship, but there's 2 other spots to be up for grabs. Maybe not for the teams that are going to get relegated, but Peachy, there's plenty of teams down there. It's actually, in a way, that's what makes the Championship so fantastic because the top 4 obviously is looking, very, very, very interesting. But the bottom 5 potentially, as I say, we've got currently it's Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield who are in the other 2 relegation spots with 44 points. Then you've got Birmingham City, obviously a local team for you, Darren. They're with 45 points in 21st. You've got Stoke City with 47 in 20th, as well as QPR in 19th with 47 points. Plymouth with 48. Blackburn with 49 in 17th and 18th, respectively. Probably Millwall, they're 6 points away that they potentially could get dragged into it, but I can't really see it. But anyway, enough for me. Everyone get involved in the comments. Peachy, who are your relegated teams? Who do you reckon will be the other 2 to join Rotherham to League One?
Well, it's exciting for a neutral, isn't it? To sit there and watch it. I mean, I work with a QPR fan, and he thinks they're in big trouble still because they've got Preston at home this weekend. Because we've all got 3 to play. I think Plymouth are now safe with their last year results, but I don't know. I can see Huddersfield and Birmingham going. I think Sheffield Wednesday will get out. I think that manager they've got there, if they'd have had him, they didn't right at the start of the season, did they? I don't know when he came in, but
Xisco Muniz was their manager, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really. Yeah, and I think Sheffield Wednesday get out and like jumping the gun a bit, but if Huddersfield are to go down, which I don't want, I'm not wishing anyone to go down. I hope it's for the final day of the season. I don't want them needing like points. Potentially is going to affect us, but I think it will be Huddersfield and Stoke.
Ooh.
And this is no offense to any of their clubs' fans. I ain't got a problem with any of these teams. Just I think with Gary Rowett going to Birmingham, that's going to help propel them back out. And again, there's nothing against Birmingham fans, but after you sacked John Eustace, start the season when you're sitting 6th, 7th in the league. Look what's happened. Hopefully their owners will learn from this. If you're not because you want a big blooming name. Anyway, yeah, Huddersfield and Stoke.
Okay, interesting. We've got a few comments going in. If that's the case with Chris, that's 3 Yorkshire clubs going down. Obviously, Wednesday, Huddersfield and Rotherham. Birmingham and Huddersfield by Mark here. Darren, what's your thoughts? As I said, you live in the Midlands. Birmingham, of course, is like your nearest club. I think. I think that's the case. I could be just making that up, but that'd be a big disaster if they went down.
It's Coventry's my closest, but Birmingham's not far away. I used to be a reporter at the Birmingham Mail, so I spent a long time seeing Birmingham, down the years and following their fortunes. And it's, I think I did a quick sort of run through of the fixtures, a quick prediction from the sort of like the bottom 7, and from the results that I've got Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham to go down. I would hate to see it. Because as I say, I've followed Birmingham from pretty close down the years, and I think it's one of these things that they have. I think they've gotten away with it a few times down the years. To be totally honest, it takes me back to about 10 years ago when I was still at the Birmingham Mail. They went to Bolton on the final day of the season, and they had to get, I think, at least a point. And they were losing going into the last couple of minutes. And then Paul Caddis came up with an equaliser. And I don't know if anybody remembers it, but final whistle, Lee Clark, who was the boss at the time, went nuts, ran all the way, sprinted down the touchline, jumped in with the fans at the far end at Bolton. And they were jubilant about it because, I mean, at that point, it would probably have ruined them if they'd gone down. But it feels like there's a lot they haven't learnt. Which we saw, frankly, from what happened with Eustace getting sacked in their position and Rooney coming in was, everyone has said it. It's very much like when Rowett got sacked and Zola came in. It feels like they haven't learnt a lot. And fundamentally, they found themselves in a similar position. And their form has been very up and down. I do wonder whether, we've talked about Stansfield and, whether he could have come to us and, he has done a good job for them. But I do wonder if maybe just their form has been so patchy of late, whether I think their luck's going to run out this time. Would it ruin them this time? Probably not, because of everything that has happened at the club in the last year. But it kind of feels like Birmingham are the next Derby, the next a little bit like us, where it kind of feels like it's, things are not being run properly and it's coming, and it wouldn't surprise me. And for Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, like Peachy said, if Danny Roll had been there all season, they'd have been fine. They really would have been. But they were so hamstrung with the mess that they started this season with everything in the wake of Darren Moore departing. They did not give themselves the best chance. And I think I took a look at their fixtures. They got West Brom is not an easy game, and then they've got Sunderland, I think, on the final day away, which I know Sunderland are not exactly flying, but it's not an easy place to travel on the final day. I've got those as my 2 to go down.
It's interesting. I'm pleased, of course, we're not involved in it. Obviously, going into this season, you never know; it could have happened, but thankfully not. We're in a different position. But yeah, we shall see. It'll be an interesting final day. And as you say, Peachy, hopefully Huddersfield, are already safe or already down. Sorry, Huddersfield fans.
Let's say safe.
Safe.
Keep on our side.
You've won a few games and you're like 17th and you're all happy and you're up and you could just come here just for the day out in Suffolk.
You're on the beach, you're fine.
Be on the beach. Be like Exeter.
Yeah, they put up a fight, didn't they?
They're very much on the beach. I'm sure they enjoyed that that day, getting beaten 6-0. But yeah, I'm sure it's just like, just another day at the office.
I did.
Yes, we did indeed. And that sort of segues nicely onto the sort of top 6, where will everyone finish. Shall we start with maybe the current 5th, 6th spots? Obviously, currently it's West Brom and Norwich. West Brom 72, Norwich 71. Hull City are in 7th with 65 points. They've got a game in hand, though. Then you've got Coventry with 63 with a game in hand as well. Borough probably going to be out of it. I can't see that. And once again, I've got to hope Norwich and the other teams, above them lose games, basically. But do you reckon Hull or Coventry could sneak in? What do you reckon, boys? And, Norwich from will they switch positions as well?
Well, we're getting 3 points off both of them, aren't we? I hope. Doesn't sound too arrogant then. I think the playoffs, as in 5th and 6th, as in West Brom and Norwich are safe in the playoffs. And I think Norwich will finish 5th. They seem, pains me to say it, I do seem to think they are the form team at the moment. And they are. They're playing well. And West Brom are having a bit of a stutter, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I'll come on to after that the premonitions of where I think the top 4 will be. I think, because I know that I say Hull and Coventry have got the games in hand, but I just think it's 6 points. And also Norwich have got a better goal difference by 8 on... No, I'm wrong, actually. I'm rambling again. Norwich have got the worst goal difference out of all 3 of them. Well, have they? No. Ignore me. Playoffs are done. Darren, save me.
Yeah, go on, Darren, come in, pitch. Don't worry, I'm on the same when I look at
my word.
If it's fine, it's fine.
I'm exactly the same, to be honest. I think it's going to be Norwich 5th, West Brom 6th. I think if nothing else, it's just Norwich's home form has been ridiculous. Unfortunately, as we were subject to. And their final 3, they've got 2 at home, and they are very, very much winnable games. And then fundamentally, they go to Birmingham, I think, on the final day, which I've just said. I don't particularly fancy Birmingham to stay up, so I think they will. I think they will probably take 5th, I think West Brom are absolutely fine. They've had a fantastic season. Corberan, I think, was completely robbed. No disrespect to Liam Rosenior, but I don't know how Carlos Corberan didn't get in among the nominees for manager of the season as much as Kieran McKenna was always going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's going to be 5th and 6th.
Okay, then. Obviously, that doesn't affect us, thankfully, because the matter of top 2 does. Obviously, we're top of the table as of this recording. Peachy, what do you reckon then? What is that top 4 going to look like? Could change, obviously, before we play, because obviously there'll be loads of games, we mentioned earlier, will be played. I think, Southampton, obviously, I think we'll be playing 4 games, or not 4 games, but they'll have a lot of games by the time we play. So what do you reckon that top 4 will look like? We've got a few comments already sharing their thoughts, but what do you reckon?
It will change, 100%. Just quickly, after the Borough game, it's such a weird mood. Even though we're drawn, we've gone top of the league, but downbeat's the wrong word, but it wasn't as high as it should have been. I think because we knew we could have gained more points. But anyway, I think the final top 4 will be Leeds, us, Leicester, Southampton. That's what I don't think we'll win the league, but I still think we've got a very good chance because basically it's as easy as this sounds. If we win our last 3 games, we get promoted. Simple as that. But I just think Leeds are still going to come strong. And the big thing is Southampton have got to play Leeds and Leicester away. And with them creeping back in, that's going to keep them interested, isn't it? So ideally, if they were to beat Leicester in their game in hand and then draw with Leeds on the final day of the season. But I'll be honest, I've been staying away from the league because it just stresses me out.
Yeah.
You get all these premonitions of what can happen.
You're doing a Kieran McKenna fan. Oh, yeah, don't look at the table. Don't look at the table.
Well, I do, but as soon as I look at it, I'll just get rid. But, I still think Leeds will win it, and I think we'll finish second. Up the town.
I love that. I'm going to share some thoughts before we go over to you, Darren. 80s here, gone Southampton, Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester. So He's done a different two pitches. Gone Southampton will win the league, which will be a big turnaround for them. Collins gone. Ipswich to win the title. Southampton
has.
Leeds third. Leicester, of course, Colin has. I don't mind that, mate. I don't mind that
No,
positivity.
love it.
Chris is gone. Ipswich to win. Like that, Chris, from New Zealand. Saints second. Leeds. Leicester to lose in the playoffs. West Brom to win the playoff final. That'd be interesting. And Charlie's gone. Ipswich will win the title as well. Southampton second. Leeds third. Leicester fourth. Norwich fifth. West Brom at sixth. Charlie, let us know who you reckon will win the playoffs then, my friend. That's another question, actually. I'll ask you boys as well. Picture, get your thinking hat on. Who do you reckon will win in the playoffs then? But yeah, Darren, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, being from the Midlands, I'm quite close to Leicester here. My brother's a Leicester season ticket holder. I've got quite a few people in the family who are sort of leaning towards Leicester. And as much as they have been really rocky lately, I kind of feel like they will use that game in hand and get back on top and stay there. So I think Leicester will finish top. It's very much heart over head stuff, but ever since when I was walking away from Carrow Road a couple of weeks ago, and you could hear sort of this was we were being marched away from that away end, and you could hear all the town fans sort of, mumbling about, oh, it's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to, it's going to happen. And I walked away from there, and I put something on Twitter at the time. I said, I'm not entertaining any of this fatalism about us and the playoffs, and I'm not doing it. From my perspective, the second last game of the season is down the road from me at Coventry. I have been just sort of holding on to this thought, positive thinking, if you like, that we will get it done at Coventry. The other results are going to go our way, and we will go to Coventry, and I'll go down the road and see us get promoted, which would be, for me, a dream. It would be a dream for all of us, but yeah, to just nip down the road and celebrate, that would be wonderful. So I am heart over head going with us finishing second. And then I think maybe as much as Southampton are looking absolutely imperious, it kind of feels like they're leaving it a bit late to actually have a go at this. As I say, I think Leicester will probably do enough to keep Southampton at bay. And then the last day of the season at Ellen Road, I think Southampton are going to finish fourth, Leeds are going to finish third. And then if I was thinking about who's going to win the playoffs, Leeds, I don't know.
That's fine. We've got some, which it could happen. Sean and Charlie have gone Norwich. And basically Sean's added, got Fulham and Norwich will win the playoffs. It's typical of them that will go up with us.
Shame on you, Sean. I've known Sean I've known Sean, well, since I was about 6.
Oh, okay.
Little fun fact. I wouldn't be an Ipswich fan, potentially, if it wasn't for Sean's dad, because his dad took my dad to his first Ipswich game.
Oh, wow. Love that.
Something's a pessimistic Mr. Downey. Come on, cheer up.
But yeah, if it wasn't for him, then you wouldn't be on this Kings Fans Social.
Exactly.
282 people joining us, which is great to see. Thanks everyone for joining. Peachy then, as I said, who do you reckon will win the playoffs?
Well, with my predicted playoffs, it would be Leicester versus West Brom and Southampton versus them lot. Yeah. So I think it'd be a Leicester Southampton final, and I think Southampton would sneak it.
Flynn down to score the winner, maybe.
Yeah. Then he can cry how he got booed.
Yes,
allegedly. Bless him. I like Flynn Downs. He's a very good player. Very good player.
I'm sure we'll have him back. I don't know. Would he get in our team? He probably would.
He would.
He would, because definitely in the Premier League, you want we know centre mid potentially. That's another conversation another day as well. Looking at who could come into our team if we do get to the promised land. But no, good predictions, boys. Very good predictions. Any other business, so then, lads, as we round off another great fan social. Hopefully this is a good show for you, ladies and gentlemen, for your weekend listen, if you're doing whatever you're doing. Peach, what are you doing this weekend? No Ipswich game, no home or away game, but I know you normally go and see some non-league football. There's not many games to go in general. Where are you heading off to?
Well, one of my nephews, Jude, he's been starting to come to Ipswich this season more often. And I said to him, I'll take him to a non-league game on Saturday. So we're going to watch Soham Town Rangers versus... I should remember this, but it's on my phone. Come on.
What level are they? What level are Soham?
They are Eastern
Sorry,
Counties Eastern Counties Premier Division,
oh,
which is Thurlow Nunn. They're against Mulbarton Wanderers. They're from Norfolk, so I'm taking them there.
nice.
And then I say in the week to pass it Tuesday night, I'm going to watch Cambridge Wickham.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Big
might
time.
even bump into Mr. Jones again.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, probably be down there. He'll probably be down there.
He's always at game football, and he loves it.
Yes, he loves it. I know he's at West Ham last night. Obviously, they got beaten by Leverkusen. Obviously, by Leverkusen are just they haven't lost the game, have they? And they've
No.
just won the German league without losing a game, which is pretty good going. But no, enjoy that, my friends. Darren, any other business from you? Any games you're going to?
Not this weekend. I'm saving myself now until Coventry, so that'll be my next one. But yeah, probably busy with my nephew tomorrow because he'll be coming to visit. But yeah, one thing I did want to say, kind of on the any other business front, I've seen some of the comments about the stuff I was talking about earlier, mental health wise. So thanks for your support on that, folks. Just an encouragement that if anybody else is struggling, this is we're talking about a year on now since I first had them problems. I'm coming out the other side now. Praise God, I'm really grateful. So I've had a lot of help through. I've been in counselling for a while, and yeah, I've had to make a few life changes, but I'm doing a lot better. And the biggest thing that I would just say to anybody is that if you are struggling, please talk. Don't think that what you're feeling is silly or somehow isn't enough to be depression or anything that could drive you over the edge because everybody's different. Please, if you are struggling, make sure that you reach out. There are resources out there. I ended up initially getting put through things on the NHS, and then family have helped with support for me since then. So, make sure that you are opening up to people because you'd be surprised what provision will come your way. So, yeah.
Well said, my friend.
Well said, Darren.
Yeah. Peachy, any other business from you? I know I've already said what you're doing this weekend, but any other thing you want to say?
Just a few good lucks. So, good luck to Newmarket Town, who are in the playoffs in their league. Their first playoff game is a week Saturday. Also, good luck to Colscoose's Bury Town, because they made the playoffs in the Isthmian League.
Yes.
And of course, good luck to everyone on the London Marathon, especially our man Bloomers.
Yes.
Who I said, if he wore a pair of Marcus Stewart gloves during the whole marathon, I'd double my sponsorship money. If anyone else is willing to do that as well. I did put this to him.
I know
he's cold. It's going to be cold.
It will be, yeah. I know he's very happy that he's reached his target. There is a separate video of just me and Bloomers chatting about the whole fundraising event and just his whole journey because he did his ACL. I think he did like 3 different injuries in one. I think he even broke his wrist in that process as well. So yeah, fair play for him. I think it's 16 months since then, and he's now running the London Marathon this Sunday. So yeah, best of luck to Bloomers. And yeah, check out that video on our YouTube channel. I think he's also done a good article with Tom Karen, one of our reporters, who is also a big Town fan as well. But yes, best of luck to Bloomers. And everyone running the London Marathon, I know there's a few Town staff members running it. I know there's a few maybe other Town fans as well out there. So yeah, best of luck with that. Rather you than me, to be honest, because I don't think I would last. I like to do a bit of run, like 5Ks in here. Maybe 10Ks is maybe my limit. But a London Marathon in front of all those people. But yeah, great that everyone's doing it for great causes, obviously. So yeah, up the Town as always. But Peachy, Darren, thanks so much for joining me. Another great fan social in the books. Now my time to do my shambolic outro as ever. Shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. Use the code KOA to get 20% off and free delivery for all your below the waist grooming. Also the beard, ears, nose stuff, and all that great clobber they've got at Manscaped. Check it out. And also follow us on Kings of Anglia on all the platforms you see us on, the YouTubes, on the Twitter, on the Facebooks, on the Instagram, on the TikToks, which AJ sorts out. Also check out Darren and Peachy on their respective Twitters as well. And yeah, 3 big games to go. Obviously, Town have got a nice weekend off to just look at the other teams, see how they get on, and then get ready for another week ahead to Hull City. I don't know what it's called now. Is it not? It's not a KCOM now, is it? It's the another sponsor.
MKM or something, I think it is, isn't it?
Something like that.
The Tiger's Den.
The Tiger's Den. More by the Tigers and all that sort of stuff. But no, thanks everyone for joining us. And yeah, we're back for another Fan Social very soon. Another flagship show as well. Have a good weekend, whatever you're doing, and bye for now. Thanks, Dazza. Thanks, Peachy.